You didn't choose noisy cities, didn't build a career in an office, didn't stand in traffic every morning. Your job is to stand at the edge of the earth and make sure ships don't wreck on the rocks. You are a lighthouse keeper, and this is your whole life. You came here at 24. The lighthouse stood on a rocky shore where the wind never dies down. An old stone tower. An iron staircase inside. A lamp at the top, visible for dozens of kilometers. When you first opened the lighthouse door, it smelled of salt, oil, and old iron. The old keeper who was handing over his shift to you said just one phrase. The main rule is simple. As long as the light burns, people are alive. Then he left for the mainland. And you stayed. The first few weeks felt strange. The silence here is different. Not the silence of a city, where you can still hear cars, people, music from neighboring apartments. Real silence. Only the wind. The cries of seagulls and the sea. Sometimes at night you'd climb up and watch the lighthouse beam slowly rotating over the water. Each rotation is like a breath. The light sweeps across the waves, across the rocks, across the dark line of the horizon. Somewhere out there, ships are sailing, and they see this light. The first year passed. You learned to listen to the sea. If the wind changed, you felt it before the storm arrived. If fog began rising from the water, you already knew the night ahead would be a hard shift. The hardest time is autumn. Storms come one after another. Waves crash against the rocks so hard it sometimes feels like the whole lighthouse is shaking. On such nights you climb up every 20 minutes. You check the lamp. You check the lens. You check the generator. Because if the light goes out, someone might not get a second chance. One night the storm was especially fierce. The wind bent the antenna. Waves struck the rocks like hammers. And suddenly you saw the lights of a ship. Too close. It was heading straight for the reefs. You switched on the siren. Checked the light. Checked it again. The lighthouse beam swept across the water. Again. Again. The ship turned. Slowly. Very slowly. And moved off toward the open sea. You stood up there for a long time afterward. Staring into the darkness. Thinking about just one thing. Somewhere on that ship, people don't even know that a few minutes ago they might never have seen morning. The years pass. You start measuring time not by the calendar. You measure it by storms. That storm, when the old pier was broken. That one, when there was no contact with the mainland for a week. That one, when the sea washed an old boat ashore. Sometimes in summer, tourists come here. They take photos by the lighthouse. They look at the sea. They say how beautiful it is here. You smile. They see a postcard. You know that behind that postcard lie thousands of nights of wind, salt, and solitude. But you don't complain. Because you understand one simple thing. If you're not here, someone might one day never make it home. 10 years pass. Then 15. The lighthouse grows old along with you. The iron steps creak. The paint peels off the walls. The old generator sometimes only starts on the second try. But the light still burns. You still climb the stairs. Every evening, every night, every winter. Then one day a letter arrives. From the mainland. It says that soon the lighthouse will be switched to an automatic system. The lamp will turn on by itself. The system will work without a person. Lighthouses like this no longer need keepers. You read the letter several times. Then you climb up. You look at the sea. The light sweeps across the water again. Slowly. Just like all those years ago. A few more months pass. And the last shift arrives. You climb the stairs one final time. You check the lamp. You run your hand over the old lens. You look at the sea. Below, the waves are roaring. The wind sways the grass on the rocks. Somewhere far off, a ship is passing. It goes by the lighthouse and disappears into the darkness. You turn off the light. Now the automatic system will turn it on. You go down. You close the door. The creak of old hinges. You walk out onto the shore. The lighthouse lights up again. Now without you. You look at it one more time. And you understand something simple. You didn't become rich. You didn't become famous. But for decades, every night, this light burned, because you were here. You are a lighthouse keeper. And this was your whole life.